But then that sounds, when you say there only this awareness of what one is, the full awareness without choice, without illusion, it sounds though we all have to sit around waiting for instant revelation.
Or then you can sit around for a million years,
exactly.
as we have done.
Indeed we have.
I don't think it's good. You see, then we have to go in to find out what is action. Is there an action which doesn't create conflict, in which there is no regret, which under all circumstances, whether it's when we live in a poor society or an affluent society, it has action that must be always correct. To find that out, one has to go into the question of what is actual action is now. Is either idealistic action, future, or action based on past memories, which is knowledge, or is there an action independent of the future of time? That's the whole point, isn't it?
Well, we can't stop time in its tracks. It rolls on.
Time, by the watch, by day, it goes on. But is there psychological time, inward time? Not, there isn't. We have created that cycle.
So it seems then that whatever the thing is, it is complete and instantaneous.
Yes.
It is not something you can build up layer by layer.
Absolutely no. Illumination is not a gradual process. Yes. Then it is not an illusion. It is not enlightenment. Because you allow time, gradual becoming something.
You know, in this context, I would like to ask you this. You have a school here. What do you teach the children? What do you teach the children? If you can't build this up for them, for any of us, old or young, I presume, what do you teach?
The academic subjects.
Yes, but in these areas.
Of course.
How
also point out all this. How to live correctly, what it means.
Well, you see, philosophers throughout the ages have discussed that very point, how to live correctly. What is correct living, right living, as Socrates called it?
That's right living.
And can you teach that?
You can point out. You can say, don't be a slave to society, don't be this and that, but you have to show it, point out. It's up to them.
But can we live in the real world that we do live in which we have to catch trains and go to offices and buy bread in the
Yes, sir,
shop?
I've done all those.
How can we combine all the pressures of the mundane
I don't admit
around
pressure.
us?
I wouldn't do anything under pressure.
You wouldn't? I wish I
refuse. No, both intellectually and psychologically, I refuse to be under pressure. I don't mind starving, I don't mind having no job, but I refuse to be put in that position.
But you see, this is really what I meant when I said, what is the secret? Because you say you will never be put under pressure. And indeed, I can see and understand that when I need to look at you or read you or listen to you to know that. But what about the rest of us? How do we get out from under this burden?
If we all say we won't be under pressure...
We all are under pressure all the time.
No, we won't be.
How can we refuse it? How can we live in the real world? The job is waiting for us. We're going to be late. We've got an appointment.
Now, just me, that brings up whether society can be changed.
Well, cannot society be changed?
No, whether society can be changed.
Yes.
The communists tried it. The socialists are trying it. Various systems are trying to change society.
Yes.
Now, what is society? It's an abstraction of our personal relationship. Now, if our personal relationship changes radically, society changes. But we are not willing to change. We admit wars, we accept all this terrible state of existence.
Yes, we do. We do. How do we stop it?
No, revolt against it.
But this...
Not revolt in the sense, become a communist, all that kind of stuff. That's psychologically revolt against it.
But that presumably must be each individual. This is not something that can be done collectively.
No, well, again, what do you mean by individual?
Well, we're all independent in separate personalities.
Are we?
Well, aren't we?
I doubt it.
Go on.
We are not individuals. We are the result of million years of collective experiences, memories, all that. Mm-hmm. We think we are individuals. We think we are free. We are not. To us, freedom means choice. Choice means confusion. You don't choose if you're clear.
You said once, one of your most striking phrases, I remember, that your purpose was to set man free.
Yes. It sounds, yes.
It's that's the most important thing in the world, after all. But how do you go about that? How do we set ourselves free? Because presumably we have to set ourselves free, is what you meant. How to show us how we set ourselves free. How do we set ourselves free?
To be aware of our conditioning.
But our condition may be terrible, miserable, wretched.
No. What is our conditioning?
Well, that varies from individual to individual, surely.
I doubt it.
No?
No. We are conditioned by fear.
Yes.
Which is common to all mankind. Mm. We are conditioned by our pleasure, which is common to all mankind. We are conditioned by our anxieties, by our loneliness, by our desperate uncertainty. All these are the factors that condition the mind.
And can we simply put them aside?
No. Who is that? You put a wrong question then. That if one sees there is consequences of all these conditionings, consequences, the pain, all the rest of it, naturally it stops. There is no entity which says, I must stop it. That is intelligence.
And then we are free?
Now, what do you mean by free?
Well, what I mean by it is to be rid of these fears, these anxieties, these impossible desires, vain yearnings.
That's right. Now, that is freedom.
It certainly seems so to me.
Unless there is that freedom, you cannot be like to yourself. Unless there is that freedom, meditation means meaningless.
You see, everybody thinks it's the other way around.
I know.
You reverse this, don't you?
That is a fact.
You see, we think of the systems, the beliefs, the faith, the work as a means to getting to this state of freedom. You start with the state of freedom.
Belief brings atrophies the brain. If you keep on repeating as they do, your brain is atrophied.
Then can we just do it by one great leap into freedom?
Yes. That is, to have insight into all this.
Instantaneously?
Yes.
And any of us can do it?
Anybody who is attentive, who is inquiring, exploring, trying to understand this terrible confusion of life.
At any age?
No. You're putting, no, of course a baby can't do it.
No.
A child can't do it.
But we don't have to spend a lifetime in practicing.
Forgotten, of course not. Then death is waiting for you.
It's waiting for all of us.
For all of us.
Thank you very much, Krishnamurti.